street fighting, and best martial arts for self-defense. To many people, martial arts is a hobby, while it just seems like a lot of work to others. Suppose you're part of the former, then good for you. While martial arts may be seen as a means to improve your fighting skills, it does a lot more in enhancing your life in aspects like your physical health, your humility, and even as a means of discipline. However, one of the primary reasons for the creation of martial arts was self-defense. And today, there are so many kinds of martial arts that can be practiced to the point where it's hard to choose which to master to take out an opponent when the need arises, mainly in street fights. In today's video, we'll be looking at the best martial arts you can master for self-defense based on their effectiveness, saving you the hassle of choosing yourself. That said, make sure to stay to the end and enjoy the video. 1. Karate. First on our list is the renowned karate. Many people believe that karate has a Japanese origin. Permit me to prove that school of thought wrong. Instead, its origin can be linked to Okinawans. Before you challenge that, since Okinawa is presently a part of Japan, it's crucial you know that Okinawa used to be an independent state that was home to what we now refer to as Japanese martial art. The term karate is a broad term used to describe many smaller styles and branches of the word itself. And of those branches, some are regarded as the most important, and those are Goju Ryu, Shotokan, Kyokushin, and the list goes on. Shotokan karate evolved into combat Western boxing, which is rugged and very effective. This technique combines powerful and direct strikes, blocks, and kicks. It also serves as a solid base for self-defense in street fights. But as effective as this may sound, it doesn't stand close to Kyokushin karate. This Kyokushin technique majorly focuses on full contact sparring, competitions, and body conditioning, which is why most Kyokushin fighters are considered living tanks. This technique requires a minimum of movements and may not even stand close to the Western arts. However, you're guaranteed to have more than enough defense if you use this technique in a street fight. 2. Muay Thai. Another fantastic martial art for self-defense on our list is Muay Thai, which may also be referred to as Thai kickboxing or Thai boxing, and can be dated as far back as 100 or maybe even 1,000 years ago. You may have already guessed, but this martial art originated from the Thai people of Thailand and Eastern Asia. Unlike most other martial arts, Muay Thai makes use of the entire body when fighting in close quarters combat, and it requires a great use of elbows, knees, fists, and feet to strike when fighting. Hence the name, the Art of Eight Limbs. And this is what makes Muay Thai very adaptable and destructive. Looking at the effectiveness in a street fight, I can assure you that this martial art is remarkably effective considering how well it covers all ranges, from a long roundhouse kick to a long elbow strike to the chin or even a short distance jab. Muay Thai is also believed to be the best stand-up clinch as it's the best short range of standing up fighting in existence. To make sure you hit your opponents with your elbows and knees, it's vital to hold your opponents by the arms, head, and even shoulders. With the use of throws, anyone can quickly develop a versatile understanding of self-defense as the need arises. However, learning this martial art takes a lot of perseverance and determination because it requires going through a lot of pain and struggle. 3. Boxing. Western boxing is considered one of the most mainstream martial arts that can be very helpful for self-defense. With its origin going back thousands of years back to ancient civilization, this martial art is one of the most instinctive ways people fight and involves only punching, even though this is quite limited to a particular belt line around the lower part of the opponent's abdomen. The effectiveness of this particular martial art is on a huge scale, considering how unidimensional it is and how it's mainly focused on striking a particular area of the opponent's body. Boxing offers you a chance to learn many different skills to an intense level and knock your opponent out if the need arises. As the case may be, many might think that boxing only involves handwork, how well you can hit a punching or speed bag or even someone's face. However, that isn't all there is to it, as there's yet another crucial element in boxing, which is footwork. And if you've ever tried boxing, you'll agree that this is one of the most challenging parts to master. And one thing it does for a fighter is that it helps them maneuver around opponents. This art has so many benefits, and these benefits can be advantageous when there's a need to defend yourself. Some of these benefits include cardiovascular health, general fitness, and hand-to-eye coordination. Considering how magnificent this art is, many people have developed a liking for it. However, there are always two sides to a coin. And for boxing, its downside is the fact that it doesn't involve grappling, pound and takedown, hence the reason some people opt for other martial arts for self-defense. 4. Wrestling. Then we have the art of wrestling. Not many people know this, but this sport can be traced back 15,000 years, and many people believe it may be just as old as humans. If we look at the UFC, we'll see that many of the big champions who started off as wrestlers, and unlike boxing, this sport involves grappling and majorly focuses on interfering with the opponent's balance to throw them to the ground and holding them there. Many people have adopted this art in street fights because of how fast takedowns are implemented, and even though there are no strikes involved, you have nothing to fear. With well-practiced takedowns, you can make up for all sorts of strikes. And if you're one who's never tried wrestling as self-defense before, here's a tip. When your opponent begins to show off his dominance by throwing kicks about or tries coming at you with their fists, you can immediately go for a double-leg takedown, taking them by surprise, and if they aren't trained in any form of martial arts, especially wrestling, then they'll most definitely now have the slightest clue what to do, and that gives you the advantage to dominate the fight. However, many people will say that the reason wrestling's out behind other martial arts is because of how it mostly happens on the ground. While it may be favorable for you to dominate on the ground, if your opponent has company, things will most likely get ugly for you quickly. The list of martial arts that may be employed during a street fight for self-defense is endless, but hopefully you learned a thing or two from the already mentioned. If you'd love to learn more, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and ring the bell notification so you can stay updated. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.